Hey guys, it's Faye from SolarFlow and I am back with an all new video. Today's topic is a deep dive behind the veil energy read on star seeds, soul groups, and soul families. We are also going to be exploring how our birth family is different than our soul group and how a twin flame is different than a soul family member. So if this sounds good to you, please stick around, and if not, I will catch you at another video. I would also, before we get into it, like to remind you guys about our awesome new channel membership here. And if you would like to learn more about it, you can head over to the community section and explore. And with that in mind, let's dive in. So this video is a companion video, if you will, to the one that I had done a couple of weeks ago where I was exploring everything to do with our souls. However, where that one was more singularly focused because we were exploring kind of like the soul's evolution from its decision to incarnate onto the earth plane through its various incarnations and the accumulation of karmic shit to work through. This is going to be more broad. This is where we're going to be exploring the external elements that are influencing and are comprising our time here on the earth plane. So these are external factors, not internal factors. And what are those factors? Those are factors that have to do with star seeds, our soul group, and our soul family. So let's dive in. Now, we're going to start with star seeds. And the reason that I'm starting with them is because I feel like it's a topic that we've kind of explored here and there throughout all of my other videos. But if you want to get like a real deep dive analysis into what a star seed is, this is where we're going to begin. So for anybody that wants to know definitively what a star seed is, here we go. A starseed is a spiritual being that has originated from either a different solar system, planet, or galaxy that has volunteered or agreed to be seeded, like a seedling of a plant, into any particular time in man's evolution here on the earth plane, with the express goal and intention of either raising consciousness or advancing evolution. So let's break this down. First and foremost, why does a starseed either volunteer or agree to come here? And that is because just like every soul born here on the earth plane, starseed or not, free will reigns supreme. So as I had shared in the video on our souls, we are not pinballs being dropped into a pinball machine getting battered around by life. No. We are the cosmic architects of the experiences that we have here. And it is no different for a star seed. They have to agree to come here, or they are volunteering to come here because they feel they have either a particular skill set that they want to lend to all of humanity, or they are recognized as having something to share, and therefore they're kind of like tapped on the shoulder, the coach is tapping them. This player, we need that player that's got the best threes. We're a couple of points down. There's 2 minutes left to the game. The coach is going to tap that player and be like, I need you. Are you up for it? So that's kind of the way it is with a star seed. It's either like they're tapping the coach's leg and they're like, coach, put me in. I know I can make a contribution now. Or the coach is going to tap them on the shoulder and be like, I need you. Are you up for it? But they have to agree. Just like us, just like all of us, we are not like thrown in here and then just getting battered around by life. We all had a desire to come here, either for the experiences that we're going to have or for the exploration of our soul in a different kind of a way, a different kind of capacity. Same thing with the star seeds. However, star seeds have an incredibly difficult time here on the earth plane. And that is for a great number of reasons. And I'm going to kind of like break it down for you like this. We all have, I'm sure, there's a lot of us out there, there's a lot of us watching these videos. We all know that one person or more than one person, they're perfectly content with their life. They, to varying degrees, will have some difficulty or maybe no difficulties. Like, I have a couple of friends, I look at them and I'm like, wow, like they just married so well. Like a good partner, a good, kind, caring, gentle person that's just like a really, really stable factor and force in their life. And they don't have any particularly big aspirations, goals, or dreams. Maybe they're content to be, a stay-at-home mom. Maybe they're content with their 9 to 5. But whatever it is, they're very perfectly content in their life. It's not like that for a starseed. Starseeds, by and large, will have very difficult times here on the earth plane for any number of reasons. And the first and foremost reason is they're not from here. So the experiences that they're going to have are going to be particularly challenging for them. It's kind of like, literally imagine if you pluck a fish out of water, what's going to happen to the fish? It will struggle to breathe. It will struggle to survive, and it will ultimately die. So, of course, we all die, our physical body all dies, the soul lives on, but it's very much a similar experience, where once that starseed has come here to the earth plane, it is hella hard for them. But that is also by design, and here's why. What was shown to me when I was looking into this is that, let's say at any particular time in man's evolution, I'm just going to make up numbers because I don't know exactly how many there are, but let's say it's needed 100 starseeds will be on the earth plane at any given time. How do you make sure that all 100 of those starseeds are going to contribute in the way that they either volunteered to contribute or with the recognition of how they could contribute? Extra starseeds are sent here for that very reason as an insurance policy. Because, first and foremost, the earth plane is completely an incongruent environment to the one that a starseed is from. So they're going to struggle here. And life is going to beat all of us around, not just the starseed, but because of the massive energetic incongruency with the environment here on the earth plane for the starseed, it can be particularly challenging for them. So they may not actually wake up to who they genuinely and truly are, and they may not be able to make the contribution that they are meant to make. So for whatever number of starseeds are meant to come here to contribute in any number of capacities, there's going to be more starseeds sent that are actually needed. How do we know this to be true? Because if you go back and you look through any period in history, any time that we have had a renaissance of some kind, that was because again, if let's say there was only 100 starseeds that were needed to wake up to contribute, let's say 200 starseeds or 300 or even 500 starseeds were sent, guess what? What if they all woke up to who they were and what their intent, purpose, and being here was? That was the periods that we had a renaissance of some kind. Because the contribution that a starseed can make is either raising consciousness or advancing evolution. So what are some ways that we have seen an advance in our evolution? Printing press, manufacturing, farming, agriculture, those were all advances in our evolution here on Earth. But the contribution that a starseed can also make is raising consciousness. What are some fantastic ways to raise consciousness? Through art, literature, music, anything that is beautifying our life and beautifying our world in some way is raising our consciousness through raising our vibration by introducing different and beautiful elements into our reality. So go back, look at periods where there was a renaissance of any kind, and that is a clue that all the starseeds that were sent here all woke up to their purpose and meaning in being here. They're kind of sent here as an insurance policy, but not always do they all wake up. But how do you want to make sure that they're going to wake up? It is also through a starseed having a very challenging incarnation here on the earth plane. And here's why. So what was shown to me is similar to the way that the islands of Hawaii were formed. There used to be nothing there. Now there's islands. And how did those islands come to be? Through volcanoes underwater. So the islands of Hawaii were born out of volcanoes, fire, and ash. It was through the complete evisceration and destruction of something that was below the surface that something could be born anew. And in addition to something that was born anew, it was born anew more externally. And what came with it was flora and fauna that had been seen no place else on Earth. I have not been to Hawaii, but I have heard it's magnificent. And there are flowers and types of animals you will see no place else on Earth. So there was nothing there. It was just completely a flat surface. What was going on below the surface on an internal level was a volcano that burst forth through the surface of the water, and through the eruption and the volcanic ash and the accumulation of it over time came to be born an island. Something from absolutely nothing. So too, for a starseed is their time here on Earth. It is rife, it is complete with struggle, strain, pain, and suffering to the max, because that is the insurance policy of assuring that that starseed will wake up to who they are. Because coming here to the earth plane, it's very, very heavy. It's very, very dense. And just like any number of us, we can be very allured by the three-dimensional. And you can have, for example, a starseed that gets seduced, if you will, with everything that the earth plane has to offer. And then they may get, because again, free will reigns supreme. They may have volunteered to come here and do a job, but then once they're here, it's like the energy is so incongruent, and they're looking around and they're coming to themselves, and they're like, oh, well, I guess I'm going to go over there. I'm going to go over. Maybe they weren't meant to go over there. They're allowed to because free will reigns supreme. So the way in which there is the assurance that the starseed is going to wake up and be who they were meant to be is through the extreme challenges that a starseed will endure on the earth plane. Just like the way that the islands in Hawaii were formed. So too is the rebirth and the recognition of someone's recognition of themselves as a starseed, that they come to know who they are and why they are here, and it is through the complete destruction of everything that they are not. It is complete stripping away and stripping them bare of everything that they are not, so they can come to recognize who they are and why they are here. Okay, that is why starseeds have a really hella hard time here on the earth plane. Now, in addition to that, they will have additional hardships for the following reasons. The earth plane, not being their home and feeling incongruent, will lead to a starseed feeling homesick or a longing for home without knowing where it is or what it is. And this is beyond, for example, like you got a college kid, they've moved out of the house, maybe they've moved onto the college campus, or maybe you have older kids and they moved out of home and they're homesick and they want to come home and they want to visit you. It's not like that. It is the soul's recognition that Earth itself is not their home. So it's just feeling out of sorts, it's feeling out of place, it's the recognition that this is not your home, but not knowing where your home actually is. And imagine how that can lead to a lot of soul suffering. Now, starseeds may also have strong intuition or psychic abilities without knowing that that's what they actually are. Additionally, they may experience strong senses of aversion to violence of any kind. It can be physical violence, mental violence, group violence, violence that's implied, violence that's laid out in movies or video games. It's a very, very strong sense of aversion to such violence. Now imagine looking around at the current state of the world and seeing how it appears to be and how that can further cause a lot of distress for the soul of a starseed. Additionally, a starseed can have the sense of feeling like they are an old soul, and again, the recognition that they do not belong here. And imagine as they are starting to get stripped bare of everything that they are not, and they're looking around at the world, and they're looking at, this is just the first example that came to mind, but they're looking at like celebrity culture, and they're looking at the rag mags, and they're looking at fashion magazines, and they're looking at all of these things, and they're like, what the actual fuck? Like, it's a recognition that they came to do something here without knowing what it is. And meanwhile, they're looking around at like the current condition of the world and all of the various things that are supplanted here to distract us. How that can also cause a lot of distress to the starseed. Additionally, the birth family to a starseed could feel quite foreign to them. They could love that birth family, love them hella hard, but they also might look at them starting at a relatively young age and they might be thinking, who are these people and why am I always with them? It can literally feel that way for a starseed. So they feel very lonely here. Now, they can also feel incredibly unfulfilled by life and seek more. Because they came to do something more. They came here to have something more than that 9 to 5. Even if they don't know what it is, they feel there is something missing in their life. And they may, also feel like they have an unfulfilled purpose or a mission, but they don't yet know what it is. So the experience for a starseed here is an incredibly challenging and lonely one. But again, those challenges and loneliness are designed to strip them bare of all that they are not, so that way they can wake up to their true purpose and meaning in being here, which is again to raise our consciousness or advance our evolution in some way. Now, why or what does this have to do with the outside influences of a soul's time here on Earth? You want to know how your own personal internal vibration is going to be raised and what are the external circumstances that are going to influence your time here. It's in evolution in mankind in some way, or it is the rising of consciousness or personal vibration through arts and things of that nature. It's going to change your time here a lot. If you have ever heard a particular piece of music or a song that has stirred something inside of your soul, you know that to be true. If you have ever read a book that touched you in such a deep and profound way, you also know that to be true. Look at the advances that we also have out in the world right now and how they have changed our lives. Arguably for the better and also for the worse, but just think about all of them. So think about all of those women 100 years ago, before they had washing machines, and think of how they would work tirelessly to clean clothing. and then hang them up on the rack to dry. And then think of the invention of a washing machine, how much that changed their life. That's maybe not our generation. Here is something that's our generation. Cell phones, Amazon. It's completely changed our life. Think of air travel. It gave us the ability to go longer distances and explore other parts of the world in a more attainable amount of time. Think of advances in medicine. All of those things influence our time here on Earth. And those are contributions that starseeds have made. Okay. So now we're going to move on and we're going to explore 3 similarly sounding, however, quite different topics, which are our birth families, our soul families, and our soul groups. Because they are kind of sounding the same, but when I break it down, you're going to see how they are also quite different. So, what is your birth family? They're the people that you are born to and born with. So they are your parents and your siblings. Okay, what are they behind the veil? So behind the veil, your birth family are a group of souls that you have the most karmic shit to work through. Because your birth family are the people that you, at least in your formative years, are the people that you are spending the most time with, and they are also the people that you can be most influenced by. And even when you're older and you grow up and you move away, they're the people that you are still the most connected to and anchored to, right? Like it's Christmas or it's a holiday, you're going home, where are you going? You're going back to your birth family. So they are the people that you are anchored to in some way in any particular incarnation. And you are anchored to them in some way because you have unfinished karmic shit to work through. Now, this does not only mean that you have negative karmic shit to work through, because you also have the accumulation of gifts, blessings, and benefits that are bestowed to you in future incarnations. Sometimes the members in your birth family are it can be a very loving, warm kind of relationship. So that is where you're going to have the blessings bestowed upon you from previous incarnations with those various different souls, where they're going to be giving you blessings in incarnation. Now, not every birth family is one that is peaches and cream. People can have a lot of challenges with the members in their birth family. So let's talk a little bit about that. And again, that is where there is an accumulation of karmic shit to be worked through. But this may not be the blessings kind of karmic shit that is to be bestowed. This is going to be where there is still perhaps some unfinished business, or it can be where the souls have recognized prior to the incarnation, we have a lot of shit to work through. We've had a lot of incarnations, we've had our fair share of challenges, and they can kind of agree amongst themselves, you know what, we want to work through this quicker, we want to work through this faster. How are we going to do that? We're going to come together in this one incarnation. We're going to be tied together in a birth family, and it's not going to be an easy go. But because it is not going to be an easy go, those souls are burning through a lot of the accumulated karmic shit in that one particular incarnation, so that at the end of that lifetime together, those souls can go their separate ways, and they do not have to be with one another, and they do not have to have future incarnations together. So take heart if you have come from a challenging birth family of your own, that again, because we are the cosmic architects of our incarnations and of our time here, that the decision to have those challenges is so that your future incarnations will bear a much lighter load. It's like, imagine you have you had a full day of errands. This is my Monday. It's laundry, it's groceries, it's 3 different grocery stores, and it's laundry, okay? So I have a lot of stuff that I'm bringing in with me when I'm concluding my Monday, because I have my laundry bags and I have bags from 3 different grocery stores. So I'm kind of like, imagine this, I'm standing at my trunk, I'm looking inside, and I'm like, I got a lot of stuff here. What is the best way in which I'm going to take everything in? Do I want to take in the lightest laundry, or do I want to take in the lightest grocery bag at the beginning and save my big ass laundry bag for the end when I might already be tired because I've done multiple trips in and out? Or do I perhaps want to take my big ass laundry bags, because there's multiple, do I want to take my big ass laundry bags in first when I know I have the most energy to do it, and then at the end, once it's comfortably inside, I can come back and at my leisure, take in the lighter bags? It's kind of the same way. It's where you have surveyed the accumulation of the karmic shit that you have had with this group of souls. And you're like, you know what? This is my laundry. It's big, it's burdensome, it's cumbersome. I want to take it in first so my future trips into the house will be lighter. So take heart if this is the experience that you are having. This was done in agreement that you had made with those souls. We're going to cut out many, many other future incarnations that are going to be quite challenging, but perhaps not as challenging as this one. We're just going to get it all the fuck out of the way right now, so future incarnations will be a lighter bearing load. Okay, so that's your birth family. How is your soul group different than your birth family? So this is the example that I had given prior. Let us say that your soul family, your birth family. Let us say that your birth family are the people that you are going to the balls with. We're back in the days of Bridgerton, it's ball season, it's 8 weeks of balls, and there's any number of balls that are going to be spread out over the entire summer season. You are going to the ball with your family. You're going to go in the carriage with them. You're going to leave in the carriage with them. But who are you going to see when you're at the ball? Who are you going to dance with at the ball? Are you going to even dance with members of your own birth family at the ball? That is all the elements and components that comprise our soul group. Our soul group are the souls that we meet at the ball. They're, if you will, your friends. You may not go to the ball with your friends, but when you're at the ball, you're going to see them and you're going to reconnect and you're going to gossip and you're going to talk about that cute man over there and you're wondering who's he's going to ask to dance. And then you're going to talk about how you had that god-awful first dance with your brother because he's the mischievous one and he always likes to trip you. So those are the souls that you love and connect with that you get to meet along the way at all of the balls spread out over the summer season. Those are your soul group members. And the way that they were shown to me is such that they are like a caravan of gypsies traveling together across the desert. They're the people that we just like their company with. And the way you could even imagine this in a more current day example is they're the people that you would want to take a road trip with. They're just the people that you like spending time with, and you choose to devote your time to them and with them in any particular incarnation. They are your friends, if you will. But what makes them part of your soul group is that you can find them through multiple lifetimes. So if you've ever had this experience where you have just met somebody and the moment you meet them, you know you have shared previous lifetimes with them, you know that you know them, it's probably because you have. And they may be a member of your soul group, but you can also have that experience when you meet a past life connection, even if it is not a positive one. So how do you know if you've met a member of your soul group or if it's a past life connection that you have some unfinished karmic shit to work through? Your experiences with your soul group members will be positive. They are the friends that you have accumulated through various different lifetimes. But if you will, you've kind of hopped off at different, you're in that caravan, you're that troop of traveling gypsies traveling through the desert, but you get to a town and you're like, you know what, this town looks kind of fun. I'm gonna hop off here. I wanna spend some time here. I'll meet up with you at the next destination. But the next destination is not just a different town, it's a different lifetime. So you might see them in some lifetimes, you might not see them in certain lifetimes, and it's just because you are, again, that group of gypsies in a caravan traveling through the desert, hopping off at different various points to meet up later on down the road. So your experiences and your interactions with your soul group members will be positive, and they will feel familiar to you. Okay. So we've talked about what our birth family is. We've talked about what our soul group family is. Now we're going to explore what our soul family is. I know, they all sound the same. They're kind of confusing, but they're all very, very different. And this is what your soul family is. It's a different relationship than the one that you will have with your soul group members. So again, your soul group members are people that you just love. You will meet up with them at the various different balls throughout the summer season. You love them, you care for them. They're not the people you come into the world with, they're not the people you leave the world with, but they are the accumulation and collection of various beautiful, loving souls that will positively influence our time here on Earth. Okay, so now we're going to explore what your soul family is and how this relationship differs from members of your soul group. Because it does, it's a different kind of relationship. Now, before we get into it, we're just gonna say that this is not the relationship you have with members in your birth family. Even though it has the name soul family, this is not the biological kind. These are not the people that you are born into and that you are born spending time with. These are the souls that you accumulate along your way in life. But it is only when you are a certain vibrational level that you will find them. It's when you are, if you will, at a complementary vibrational level. And I'll explain what that means. So first and foremost, what are members of your soul family? How are they different than members in your soul group? So the members in your soul group are the souls that you just love spending time with, you have a good time with, you travel with through various different lifetimes, because they will positively influence your life in some way, for the better. Now, that's not to say what the members of your soul family will not. They will, but they will influence your life differently, and here's why. The members of your soul family will help you grow individually as well as interconnectedly, as you are both teacher and student. So you are a teacher to them at one point in the relationship. You may also be a student of theirs at a different point in the relationship, as they themselves will be with you as well. You may be teaching them at some point, they may be teaching you at some point. Because you are missing pieces in the same puzzle. And finding them may help you unlock your unlock the mystery in your purpose of being here. So this is a far different relationship than those souls that you perhaps like to get together and have coffee with, or you may like to talk about your favorite TV shows with. That's going to be a lighter, fluffier relationship. But the relationship you have with the members of your soul family, this is a deeper relationship. This is, if you will, not like you are meeting somebody sitting in the airport. You are in New York, you are flying to France. There's a perfectly nice person you're sitting on the airplane next to. You happen to be going to the same destination, but when you get there, nice as they are, and nice as much as you have enjoyed speaking with them, when you get to France, are you going to see them again? No, not necessarily. But the members of your soul family, you're going to the same destination. However, the destination may not be a physical destination you will find on a map. It's, I am in the process of upgrading my life. I am in the process of going through a glow up. I am in the process of ascending mentally, spiritually, in some very big and monumental way. The members of your soul family, they are at a similar vibrational level. They are ascending similar to you. And when you find them, you are both teacher and student in helping one another ascend and evolve. So how do you know if you have met a member of your soul family? Here's how. When you meet them, you have a feeling of familiarity. You are energized spending time with them. So much so to the point that when you actually, and it's not even where you are spending physical time with them. I have members of my soul family I still have not even met. But when we talk on the phone, 5 hours pass like that. And then one of us says, holy fucking hell, do you realize what time it is? It's 5 o'clock in the morning, it's time to get off the phone. We've spoken for 5 hours and it felt like 20 minutes. That's a great indication that you're with a member of your soul family. The conversations easily flow. However, again, these are not conversations like who was dancing with who at the ball and what they were wearing. These are conversations about where are you going with your life? How are you getting there? It doesn't even have to be something rooted in the three-dimensional. It can be spiritual topics. It can be metaphysical topics. It's an elevated kind of a relationship. You can also be your real authentic self with them. Even if that means being your weird ass self, there's no judgment. And maybe they're not exactly on the same weird ass frequency as you are, but it's a great meeting of the minds nonetheless. And maybe it's where you can help them fill in some missing pieces in some thought that they have had, and maybe you're gonna help them become their weird ass physical, spiritual self. Maybe not. But there's no sense of judgment when you're with them or when you talk to them. It's nothing but love and acceptance. Now, they can also hold up a mirror for us to be our best selves and to embrace our best qualities. However, they may also be holding up a mirror for us to inspect our weaknesses and for us to see how we can best get on the other side of them. Because there's kind of like, there can be this misconception with your soul family members that you're never going to have a disagreement. And nothing could be further from the truth. You may disagree about a great number of things. However, the conversations that you're going to have will always be respectful ones. And where they are helping, they may help you to see something differently than the way that you were seeing it before. They may also be relationships where there is some level of challenge. However, it's challenge with a purpose. Because if these are the kind of relationships that are going to help us ultimately ascend and to help us grow, what better way to help somebody grow than through the presentation of some sort of a challenge? Now, I'm also not saying that this is going to be like it's a conscious thought in the person's mind where they're like, you know what? They're feeling a little bit too cushy in their life. Let me throw them a curveball and force them to change. No, it's just like with any other kind of relationship, you're coming from two different places, you have two different perspectives. They may present a kind of perspective to you that challenges you in some way to look at your life a different way, to look at yourself a different way, or to perceive yourself a different way, that is with the intention of helping you ascend and evolve. So while they may be the easiest relationships you have, they may also be relationships where there are occasional challenges, but these challenges are coming up to help you grow and to help you evolve. Now, again, the interesting thing about members of your soul family is that these are the people that you're going to meet not when you are looking for them. Here's why. Anytime you are looking for something, it is because there is an implication something is missing. For example, you lost your wallet. What are you going to do? You're going to look for it. It's lost. So when you go looking for members of your soul family, that is going to be coming from a place of lack, where you are missing something. When you will find members of your soul family is when you are already on the path you are meant to be on, and they are, if you will, the next ring in the ladder to help you ascend. So you will find them when you are not looking for them, when you are not in the vibration of lack. You will find them when you are already on the path, and they will walk with you, holding your hand to help get you there. They are, if you will, a gift, or one could look at it like it is fate. Okay. So if these are, in a way, helper souls, how are they different than a twin flame? All right, so first and foremost, can a member of your soul family be a twin flame? Sure, they absolutely can. How are they different, however, if they are not? So first and foremost, what is a twin flame? And as I have said in previous videos, this concept of twin flame has kind of been hijacked, where what they are in actuality are helper souls. It's kind of been taken over and portrayed in the spiritual community that a twin flame is like the most elevated expression of romantic love. And sure, a twin flame could be a romantic and intimate kind of relationship, but it isn't always one that is. A twin flame is just a really, really close soul that is going to help another soul ascend and evolve. And I'm going to give you an example of what a twin flame is. I believe that my parents were actually twin flames, because my dad is no longer on this side, my mom is. So I'm using were as in past tense. Because at some point, my parents had the following conversation. There was an acknowledgement on my father's part that he was not going to be around forever. So he had this very candid conversation with my mom, and he said, you have a job now, it's true. You need a career, because I will not always be here. And I won't be here to support you, and I won't be here to financially assist you. You need more than what you have right now. So my dad gave my mom a choice. He said, I want to get you to the next best place of where you're going to be so that you can take care of yourself when I am no longer here. And he had concluded that the two best options for my mom were either going to be medical school or law school. Now, my mom was in her 40s. I'm in my 40s. I don't want to start medical school. I don't want to start law school either. She didn't want to start medical school, so she chose law school. And that elevated my mother from just having a job to having a career. So that is a very, very clear example of a twin flame helper soul that is surveying the current state or current status of a soul that they are closely tied to, right? It's not like you might necessarily have a twin flame that's a homeless person living on the street. And it's like, oh, I see you. I want to help you get out of the street. I'm going to work closely with helping you get into some sort of permanent housing. It's not quite like that. It is a soul that you are already very, very well acquainted with. You are already well tied to. Can be somebody that you are intimately connected to, but it is where you are looking at that soul, you are surveying the current status that they are in, and you are saying, how can I best help you and facilitate getting you to the next version of the place that you are meant to be, and the next version of yourself that you are meant to be as well. But that's not to say that the members of your soul family are going to do that. Because again, I have members in my soul family I still have not even met. We are just souls that are on a similar kind of trajectory and a similar kind of path where there is nothing but love and support and kindness, where we are helping one another ascend and evolve and get to the next place of where we are meant to be. But it is not one in which it is so closely tied and connected as it is one with a soul, with a twin flame. Because I love the members of my soul family. You can sure as hell believe I'm not going to say to any of them, you're in a good place, but I think you need to go to medical school or you need to go to law school to get to the next version of who you are meant to be. It's where we have the recognition of where they are. And that when they come to us with specific questions, we will be there for them to help them get to where they are going. So it is a step back and removed from the close tie that you have when you are working with a twin flame. Now, here's a question that comes up a lot. Does every soul that is incarnated have a twin flame? And the answer is no. Some of us do, some of us don't. And the reason for that is, can you guess? Because we talk about it all the time. Free will reigns supreme. Some of us in any of our incarnations may say, you know what? I gotta do this on my own. I'm gonna pick myself up by my bootstraps and I'm going to put one foot in front of the other and I'm gonna get to where I'm going on my own. And I don't want any outside assistance or any outside help. And some souls do. And they say, in this incarnation, I will only be able to get to here on my own and I will not be able to go further. And that is where you're going to have the assistance of the twin flame that is going to come to you when you need them or come to you at any point along the way and they will say, I gotcha. I see where you're going and I can help you get there. So not all of us have them in any incarnation and we do not have them in every single incarnation as well. This is, if you will, you're meeting up before you choose to incarnate, and it's like, I'm going to have these certain experiences, and then I'm going to need a little bit of help, and I'm going to turn to you, and you're going to be there for me. That is what a twin flame is, and this is also what a twin flame is not. They are not the people that you are going to be loosely tied to. You may be intimate with them, you may not be intimate with them. But it is a soul that you are closely tied to in some way, and they are coming in to help you when you have gotten to as far as you can go at a certain place in your life, and they will then help you get to the next version of yourself. Now, let's explore a little bit more about soul families, because I do have a little bit more to say about that. So yes, a twin flame can be a romantic partner, but not always. But it is a close relationship, whereas soul family members may be people that you sporadically speak to, or sporadically see, or don't see. However, they are the ultimate kind of people that every time, this is a member of your soul family, they are the ultimate example of every time you speak to them, it is like a day has not passed, even if it has been years. And yes, as I said, they may be the easiest relationships you have, but they also may be relationships where there is some level of challenge. However, the challenges are beautiful and helpful as they help you grow and expand. And the relationship you have with a member of your soul family is one that is like a mirror. However, this is not the distorted kind of a mirror that you will experience in a funhouse. You know those mirrors. It's the one that makes you look fat. It's the one that makes you look stretched out. It's the one that makes you look tall. It's the one that makes you look short. It's the one that makes you look like a weeble wobble. It's none of those. This is not a distorted funhouse mirror. This is a mirror with really, really good lighting so that we can best see ourselves. So I hope that this has allowed you to understand the differences with your soul group, your soul family, and your birth family, and how all of these different relationships are going to influence and comprise our time here on the earth plane. Either by being the beautiful souls that we can connect with and that we enjoy spending time with, a la members of our soul groups, or the souls that we find along the way and we hold hands and we walk the journey together, a la members of our soul families, and how the influence of our birth family can be one that is supportive in helping us, and one in which we can collect on the beautiful benefits and blessings that we have accumulated through past lifetimes, or how they may be challenging, but that is also one, again, that is setting us up for a lighter load. Though it be a challenging one in this incarnation, it's setting us up to have a lighter load in a future one. And finally, how the influence of the twin flame is one that will help you get through a closer relationship to the next place that you have agreed to be in any particular incarnation. So as always, guys, I hope that you have found this video to be interesting and maybe thought-provoking. Take what resonates and leave the rest behind. And as always, and until next time, stay in the high vibration.